Okay, so let's start. Okay, so the talk is about A2A protocol. Anyone heard about A2A protocol? Okay, so the talk today is about A2A, agent-to-agent protocol. So this is a primer talk. Basically, I will start from a very introduction. What is A2A? How does it work? Okay, and then I'll give you a demo, the underlying infrastructure of A2A. Okay, so in case you're not aware, my name is Guan Hong. I'm actually working as a data engineering section lead in Roche. I'm a Google developer expert in AI ML. I'm a AI AWS community builder. I founded and managed 2 communities in Malaysia. This one that event today is by AI ML Malaysia. This community I founded in 2017. This one is 2016. So this one is already 8 years. This is already 9 years. Okay, so this one I'm doing a meetup every month, and Malaysia our user group we are going to have a big event this October at TAR UMT. So please connect me in LinkedIn. So in case you're not aware, I'm very active in LinkedIn. Sometimes people complain like I see you LinkedIn all the time. Are you working or not? Actually, the LinkedIn post just explain I actually schedule the post. I don't post every day, but people think I post every day. AI must use AI. Okay, so this is the Facebook page of the committee today that you're attending. There are 2 locations for the Facebook page. This AI ML committee page. One is in Facebook, so we have about 33,000 now in Facebook. Okay, I know that some people say, what is Facebook? I'm too young. I'm Gen A or Gen Z. I don't have Facebook. Okay, fine, good. You don't have Facebook. We also have LinkedIn. Okay, so LinkedIn now we have about 800 people connected. So why do you want to join the Facebook or why do you want to join the LinkedIn? All the meetup, all the news related to AI ML will be posted in both areas, especially the meetup. So the meetup will be posted here and also will be posted in Facebook. Like recently, I also did online webinar on Gemini CLI. Okay, so it's also in my YouTube channel. I recorded it and posted in my YouTube channel. So if you want to follow the webinar online on whatever news related event, please follow the Facebook or the LinkedIn. Okay, so this is the agenda. I'm going to talk about introduction to A2A, agent-to-agent protocol. What is A2A? How does A2A work? The purpose of A2A, and then people will confuse, okay, MCP and A2A. So what's the difference between MCP and A2A, and how does MCP and A2A work together? So how to get started, and then I will do a demo. Okay, so we know that year 2025, this year is the year, people call it the year of agent. Okay, so Jensen Huang from NVIDIA said that definitely year 2025 is the year of artificial intelligent agent. Okay, then most of people also say that this year is the year of agent. So if you watch all the event from Google, from Microsoft, from AWS, everyone is talking about agent. Even all the tools now coming out is all about agent. So agent definitely this year is definitely the biggest development in AI space. So with that, actually Google in Cloud Next. So A2A has launched only 4 months ago, about 4 months ago, during the Cloud Next event in Google. So Google launched the A2A or agent-to-agent protocol. Basically, it's an open standard. Okay, it's designed for you to seamless communicate and collaborate between AI agent. So we know that AI agent, okay, can be developed by multiple framework out there. Okay, for example, if you use there's an agent, you can develop agent from Crew AI. You also can develop agent using LangGraph. So if you're using LangChain, like last time, you can use LangChain to develop this chatbot or large language model application. But if you want to do agent, AI agent, you can use LangGraph. Okay. Then Google has a ADK. Okay. Agent Development Kit. Okay. So if you develop all these agents in different framework, how do you make sure they can communicate to each other? Okay. How they can collaborate with each other? Okay. So that is where the A2A come in. Okay, so agent can be built in different framework, can be actually from different vendors. Okay, so with A2A, it actually is a common language. Okay, where you can actually break down a silo and make sure all these agents can work together. Okay, so now when you talk about agent, you do not want the agent only work in silo, but you want the agent to work in a collaborative manner. So if agent develop a different framework, how they can communicate? Okay, that is the A2A protocol come in. So using the A2A agent can complete tasks for end user without sharing the memory and thoughts and tools. Instead, the agent now can exchange context, status, instruction, or data in the very native modality. So with this A2A, it's simple. You can reuse existing standard. It's enterprise ready. Enterprise ready is very important because now you can authenticate your agent. You can secure, private, trace, and monitor. Okay. So there was a joke that the people say there's no there's a when you talk about security for MCP, okay, look at the because there's there is a security in MCP. Just look at the S in MCP. Then you think about MCP. There's no S exactly. Okay, so when you use MCP server, people will tell you have to make sure which server you're connecting to because it's never you never know what the server is doing. Okay, so MCP definitely is not enterprise ready. Okay, it's not something that you can authenticate. You can make sure it's secure, private, and you can trace and monitor the agent. These are protocol. Okay, and then for A2A is async first, asynchronous. You can do a long running task and you can put human in the loop. Okay, modality agnostic. That means you can send audio, video, form, iframe, whatever. Then you can agent do not need to share thoughts and plan or tools each other. This is also very important because you do not want the agent to tell everything to the other agent. Okay, sometimes you need to only send the important message. Okay, so this is very important. So when Google launched this A2A, it's actually partnered with many company out there. You can see most of the company out there already partner with sign in for this A2A protocol. Anyone can name me which of the important company do not sign up here? Which one is not? Is Gartner? No, the most important one that is doing some similar protocol, which is not here. What? Anthropic. Okay, because Anthropic have MCP, isn't it? It's not here. Okay, so as I mentioned, this A2A is open source. So Google has donated this A2A to Linux Foundation. So it's open source. Okay, so anyone can take it up and then further improve it. So you can see now you can actually use the A2A in all the project with AWS, Cisco, Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, SAP, and ServiceNow. Okay, so before we go to A2A, just take a step back and understand what is agent. Okay, so what is agent? Basically, a user can interact with the agent. Okay, what the agent can do. Okay, of course, the agent have a tools access to large language model, where the large language model acts as a brain for the agent. So you can do planning, you can do reasoning. The other thing the agent can do, okay, is he can actually take action. Okay, he can take action. He can access some tools. Okay, and then the other thing agent can do, he has some sort of memory. He can remember the context and he can store all the conversation, all the context in the memory. Okay, so when you're using like Claude Code or you're using Gemini CLI or using all the other coding tools of that like Cursor or whatever, definitely the agent in Cursor can have a tools. What are the tools the agent in Cursor can do? It can read file, it can write code, okay, it can execute command for you. Okay, at the same time, all your prompt, okay, is saved in the memory. Okay, you can access to the retrieve and store into memory. Of course, all the agents also can access the prompt template, and then from the prompt template, it can execute some instruction. So this is how a basic agent will look like. For a user, all you need to interact with the agent is by prompt. That's all. You don't need to do coding. You just give a very natural language instruction. Okay, so when you're doing coding, like for example here using Cloud Code, you're accessing a lot of agent. The agent can write the code for you, write the file for you. Those are the tools available for the agent. Okay, next, let's take a scenario. You are going to book an airline ticket. Okay, you want to go from Kuala Lumpur to Bangkok. Okay, then you want to book for 3 days. You want to find information for 3 days. Let's say 29, 30th, 31st this month. You want to fly to Bangkok, and then you want to check out the weather for these 3 days. Okay, you want to say for these 3 days, okay, what are the best day that I can fly to Bangkok? I do not, there will not be any maybe typhoon or rain, whatever. Okay, so normally if you want to do this, what would you need to do? Okay, first thing is you need to check the 3 days weather for Bangkok. Okay, then based on the weather, you need to choose the day to buy your ticket. Then what you need to do, you need to go and find the flight info. Okay, so this is the basic 3 steps you need to do. Okay, so how do you use this? How do you change this to an agent base? Okay, so now if I'm a user, okay, I can give a instruction to my client agent. My client agent can actually ask the weather agent when is the best for the 3 days, when is the best day that have the best day to me to select a day where there's the best weather. From there, I will ask my ticketing agent, based on the day that is my best weather, I will book a ticket. Okay, so you can actually do that. So the user will ask the client agent. The client agent will check the weather from the weather agent. The weather agent will respond back. Then the client agent will book a ticket with the ticketing agent, and then the ticketing agent will give you back the flight info, and then will respond back to the user. So you can see now you have 3 agents working together, where the user will just give a prompt. Okay, so where is A2A protocol come in? So A2A protocol come in where you need to communicate between agent to agent. Okay, so this agent talk to this agent, and this agent talk to this agent. Then you need to involve the A2A protocol. Be mindful that these 3 agents can be different framework. This one can be from LangGraph, this one can be Crew AI, this one can be from Google ADK or any other agent framework. Okay, so then you can say, I already use MCP. What's the difference between MCP and A2A? Okay, but first of all, what is MCP? Okay, so Model Context Protocol basically is a method to give language model access to external knowledge tools and memory. So you have like your MCP host, okay, like your Cloud, your Cursor, your OpenAI. You have a client, this MCP client. From the MCP client, you can access different tools. For example, you can have a server for Google Workspace, GitHub MCP. This is maybe the file MCP, maybe Slack MCP, or maybe the calendar MCP. So with the client MCP, you can access many tools, and then you can get the relevant data that you want. Okay, so having MCP, people say, what's the difference between MCP and API? Okay, so for API, every single application, you need to have a separate API. For MCP, you can only have just write one MPV server. Can you have real-time communication? You cannot do real-time communication API. Is it seamlessly, you can scale it? For every single integration, you need to have a separate integration. This one is just plug and play. Just add the MCP server. Security control varies by API. Of course, security here is actually something that you need to make sure in the API, in the MCP server. Okay, so we talk about that now. Let's say I'm a weather agent. To sound the weather here, come back here. So the weather agent here, how does the weather get the info about weather? There's 2 ways in it. One way is I can go and look for API, or I can call MCP. Okay, so for this case here, let's look at the weather as API. When you ask for weather from the weather agent, what the weather agent will do, okay? the weather agent will pass to the large language model. Then he can actually access several tools. He can actually do a weather forecast tools info, or he can actually get a weather data info. So the agent can access to the large language model, and then he can access the tools. Okay, whether from the weather forecast info or from the weather data. Okay, so for here, okay, when the large language model access the tools, this is where your MCP protocol will come in. Okay. Okay, and then how does a agent talk to agent? You need to go to the A2A protocol. So you can see here the A2A versus MCP. So with the A2A protocol, you have agent 1 can talk to agent 2. So you can see here, this agent 1, okay, is developed using Google ADK framework, is using Gemini 2.5 Pro here, and he's accessing data from Postgres SQL. The agent 2 is developed using LangGraph framework and is using DeepSeek large language model, and maybe he's using Supabase. And then from here, this agent can access to the MCP. Okay, he can access to different MCP server. Here you can have a cloud MCP server, communication MCP server. Here can be some search MCP server, some file MCP server. So you can see the communication between agent to agent is where you use the A2A protocol. The communication between the agent to the server is using MCP protocol. Okay, so user now can have, we'll talk to the client agent. And then to simplify, I just use one agent here. I have a ticketing agent. Okay, so I have a question. For example, 1st September, flight from Bangkok, which airline will have the ticket? So then the user will ask to the client agent. The client agent will talk to the ticketing agent. The ticketing agent will return and then get a result. Then you can say, oh, this flight X and Y will have tickets. Okay? So this is where the agent talk to agent, the A2A protocol will come in. Okay, so let's say now, when we talk about client agent and ticketing agent, sometimes it's also called the client, A2A client, and A2A server. Sometimes it's also called the client agent and the remote agent. Okay, so these are the names, the names you can call for A2A. Can be a client and server, can be a client and remote agent. So how does the A2A workflow will look like? First thing is, they need to have some sort of agent discovery and agent registration. So imagine now you have so many agents out there. Okay, if I want to, let's say I'm a client agent, I want to find for agent that can give me ticketing info. I can supposed to able to discover which agent can actually give me ticketing info. So imagine in the future, there should be like a marketplace where you can find the agent that can do the work for you. Once you find the work that they can do for you, then you can register with the agent. After that, then the user can do requests and get response from the agent. Okay, so this is where the A2A helps. Okay, in the future, it should also be a marketplace where you can discover what agent can do, and then you can actually connect to the agent. Okay, so for agent discovery and registration, the user, okay, will connect to a platform. Okay, for example, maybe I'll go to a URL or website, whatever. From the website, when I type in the information, then you activate he will actually connect to the ticketing agent. So for this case here, okay, I will find which agent can actually serve my need. Okay, for example, this case here, I will do a request to the ticketing agent. So after I do a request, the agent will send me back something called agent card. Okay, if you do AI, we have something called model card here. What the model card will do, you define what the model parameter, all the tools available. Similar here, the agent card will return what the agent can do, the skill, the description, everything. Okay, so this allows the user to know that I'm calling the right agent. Okay, after that, he will do a registration. Okay, make sure you register the agent and make sure you dispatch and then get all the, for example, I will say that this is the ticketing agent and I know what the tools available for this agent. Okay, and then the registration complete. The next step is the user can do a request and respond. So the user will say in like 1st September, I want to fly from Bangkok, which airline has a ticket. Then you pass to the client agent. Okay, you send a message to the ticketing agent. The ticketing agent, okay, how you get the information. Okay, he can do API or he can actually use MCP. Okay, depend on how the agent can access the information. Then the ticketing will pass back the ticket info and then pass all the way back to the user. For this case here, okay, this is where the A2A protocol will come in. So you can see here, for this case here, this is where the A2A protocol will come in. When you do the agent discovery and registration. So when you find the right agent, okay, you need to connect to the agent. The agent will send you back a card, will tell you what the agent can do. Later I'll show you the demo. Okay, so for example here, I have a remote agent. I have different framework. I have a LangGraph, Crew AI, Google ADK. Then I have a list of tools available. Okay, I can connect to the agent executor. This agent executor will find the right agent for me. So the right agent for me will return the agent card. In the agent card will tell you what the skill the agent can do. Okay, then he will request, you can do all the incoming requests, start the application, and then just run the server. So this is how agent card will look like. Okay, so I have an agent name called weather agent. He will have a description. So this agent can provide you weather related query information. What kind of input? He will tell you that for this agent, I take in input text and I return back input text. Okay. Then do I do streaming? No. And then do I do push notification? No. Okay. So this is how an agent card will look like. So for the second part, the user request and respond. Okay. This is where the A2A protocol will come in. The agent talking to agent. Okay. So remember, you send a message to the agent. So first thing you send is, okay, this is the user. I want to send a message, and every single message must have an ID and task ID and context. Okay. So you send to the user, send to the agent. The agent will say, okay, I can actually return two things. Whether I return a message, okay, they return the message and make sure the message must tie back to the message ID. Okay. Or I can do a task. Okay. So I can do a task. A task returned by agent is called artifact. Okay. A task returned by the agent is called artifact. So whether the task is considered to be submitted, working, the status can be input required, completed, cancel, or fail. So once the task has been completed, then the status will change to completed. So this whole thing here is defined inside the protocol. So in a nutshell, so you can see the client agent and the remote agent. You can do collaboration, you can manage the tasks and the state. You can actually negotiate the experience, and then you can do some sort of discovery. So the discovery is where you can actually discover the skill and the capability of the agent through the agent card. Okay, so let me show you this video. So this is a video. Basically, you try to find software engineer position, attach a job description. So he will actually look for agent to actually do sourcing for you. Okay. Then from there, you can actually specify this whether the global position. Then you can actually connect to the different agent for you. Okay. So you can see this example is inside the GCP called Google Agent Space. Never mind, this is, I think better do the demo. Okay, so to do the demo, there is an open source example in GitHub. Okay, so the demo basically is something like this. I have a user, I can launch a web browser, or I call it platform just now lah. From there, there'll be a front end where the user can interact with the host agent. The host agent can connect to many remote agents. So every single remote agent is actually in different framework. I have a LangGraph agent, Google ADK agent, and A2A agent. And this agent, remote agent, can talk to the other agent through this A2A protocol. Okay, so inside your, for example here, first I attach the remote agent. Okay, so I have an agent called reimbursement agent. So this reimbursement agent, I can have an agent card here. This agent card will tell you what this agent can do. First of all, in the description, the agent will handle a reimbursement process, and then you can actually input text and output text. Then there's a whether it supports streaming or whether it supports push notification. And then there is an agent address. So there should be an IP address. How do I connect to this agent? Once I added this agent, okay, the agent ADK is the code. So this agent ADK, this agent is developed using Google ADK framework. Okay, so you have one example now, and this agent can actually do the reimbursement of your claim. Then you can start a conversation. Okay, you can start a conversation. So I say, first of all, I want you to list remote agent available. So you tell me that, okay, I have only one remote agent because I attached just now one remote agent. You tell me that I can have one remote agent available. Okay, then I say I want to reimburse 20 euro. I want to convert to USD. Okay, he said that, oh, I only can do reimbursement, but I cannot do conversion. You need to tell me what is the conversion rate. Okay, so I say, okay, for this reimbursement is for business meeting, and then I say I will give you a conversion rate. Okay, and then I say the date and the amount. Okay, then you say, okay, the reimbursement agent has confirmed, the reimbursement has been approved, and then there's the ID. Then complete. Okay, so how does it look like at the back in the message? It looks like something like this. Okay, so just now I attached my agent, which is port 10,002. I can connect to the agent. They can see here. First thing is, when I connect to the agent will return me agent card. So the agent card will return me the description of the agent and how the agent will process input and output. Okay, then once I put in that I want to reimbursement 20 USD, okay, I will get the post, and then the result will be sent to the agent, and agent will return me the result. Okay, so this is the agent card will look like. Okay, so the agent card will look like, okay, I can do streaming. Then every agent must have a skill. For example, the skill here is I will help you to do reimbursement process. And the example, can you reimbursement me 20 for lunch? Then every single message must have ID, the name, and argument, the tag. So this is the communication between the agent and the agent. Okay, so for every task submitted by the agent A2A protocol, the result sent back by the agent is called artifact. So the artifact 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Then once the whole thing is completed, then it will be task completed. Okay, so how does the artifact will look like? So artifact look like something like this. So if I show you, you can see that this is the result, the artifact. The artifact say that here I managed to actually need more information for you. Just now, remember, in my conversation just now, that I said this is a business meeting. I returned 20 USD. All these are defined in the JSON file. So towards the end, once you have done, you say that this status now is completed. Okay, so the whole conversation now is completed, and then the result, the task has been completed. Okay, so there is only one agent. How about now I have two agents? Okay, remember the best thing about A2A protocol is when I have agent with different framework working together. So just now I have reimbursement agent. Now I add in another agent. So the first agent, reimbursement agent, is port 10,002, and then for the currency agent is port 10,000. So now I have two agents. These two agents are supposed to work together and communicate with each other. So for the currency agent is built using LangChain. So now I'm showing you that first agent was using Google ADK. The second agent is using different framework, which is the LangChain framework. And still they can communicate with each other. Okay, so the conversation something like this. List all the agent. Okay, so here he'll show you that I have two agents, currency agent, reimbursement agent. Then I say, I want you to convert, give me the rate from USD to Euro. So the currency agent now will be activated. Okay, the exchange rate is 1 USD to 0.85. Okay, then I said now, once with that, I want to convert 20 USD to Euro. Okay, so you converted that 20 USD is about 17.15. Then now I will call the reimbursement agent to reimburse me this 70.15 euro on 27th of August. So now the agent will know that I will need to reimburse you on this date, this amount, and for the lunch. And then there will be a request ID. Then once you are reimbursed already, then the task will be completed. You can see this whole thing here communicating at the back. If you look at if you look at the code, okay, it's the same. You can see all this JSON file message communicating with each other. Okay, so if you want to try this, you can go and try this at the GitHub. Let me show you the GitHub. So you can go to Google ADK. Sorry. So you can go to here. This A2A. Is it this one? Not this one. It's supposed to be by project. So there's a A2A here. You can go to sample here. Okay. Then the demo, that's how I demo you, is here. Okay. You can actually run this and try it out. Then you can have the host agent and remote agent. Then when you see the remote agent, you can actually try the sample here in Python, which is agent. So you have many different agent, different framework. So just now I have the ADK reimbursement and also the LangGraph ADK. Okay, so let me commission. So in conclusion, A2A protocol standardized framework for agent registration. You can do task publishing and secure responses. Okay, you can move your AI system now from a very isolated tools. You can make sure they can communicate to each other. You also can integrate your MCP with a higher level orchestration, and then for cross platform connectivity. Okay, this will unlock the potential for your agent. So if you now with your agent now, you can use the A2A protocol to make sure agent in different framework work together and work in a collaborative manner to actually make sure you can reap the benefit of all the agents. So if you're interested, you can actually go to these resources to read more. Okay, I will share the slide in our Facebook page and also our LinkedIn page. Okay, do you have any questions? Or too much info already? So I think it's a good example to go back and try it out because towards the end now I can write agent.